Hi Dan, welcome to your website review video. Thanks for inquiring. So the first thing we check is the page speed. Now we only run this on the home page for the free review video, but if we were to complete a full review of the website, then we would carry this test out literally on every single page of the site. And then obviously, if you wanted the site to be as fast as humanly possible, then you can obviously use our website speed optimization service, whereby we would do this for every single page. So I was quite surprised actually. It took 12 seconds to load. Now this is, you can do this yourself. You can go to testmysite.withgoogle.com. It is a relatively basic speed test, but I have run this 2 or 3 times, and this is the average. This is the average time. Now this is the test where it tests how quick it loads on a mobile if someone's not connected to Wi-Fi, so on a 3G. Which obviously, if someone's out of the office, if someone's on the lunch break and they're out and about, most people now, they say 50% of searches are done on mobile, if not more, and obviously this is why this is important. So this is an issue that actually needs addressing quite urgently, because you're probably losing around 30% of the visitors because they just don't wait for the site to load. Now we don't go into the details of why, because it could be one of 12, 13, even more things. Usually it's to do with the images being too large. That's the most common problem. And then especially with WordPress sites, there's a lot of code that is kind of useless. So you need to install a caching plugin, and you need to install a couple of other plugins that help with minimizing kind of queries and CSS and things like that. But I'm not going to go into the technicalities of it in this video. I can explain it in more detail on the phone though. So that needs addressing pretty quickly. Next thing is the SSL certificate. You've sorted that, that's fine. Now you are on WordPress, so I would recommend, I can't look in the back end at the minute, but security in WordPress is very important as well. So if you've not got a security plugin installed, you do need one. We can do that for you. Usually it's a free plugin, depending on the type of information that you're processing through the site. We would look into that in more detail. So if that's something that you're interested in, obviously we can talk about that another time. Next thing is GDPR. Now I notice you've got the pop-up cookie box. So I'm guessing you do have all the policies in place in terms of the privacy policy. Yeah, you've got privacy there. So yeah, as long as you've kept them up to date, that's fine. Now this is the most important bit, obviously conversion optimization. I actually quite like quite a few elements of this website. One of the things I try and push is having the testimonials like this, right at the top of the website. Too many people focus on, I want it to look pretty and I want it to look nice, and and I want a nice some professional images and telling people about what we do. They already know what you do, so the first slide should be that, really. And then people, obviously, they already know kind of what you do because they're searching for your services, so they've probably already searched for it before. They know, what they want. So the reason why they're going to inquire with you is if you can solve their problems. So, having having the testimonials is good, but also I would have, so for me, I like to have 2 sections here for kind of the best conversion optimization strategy, because this is what works best, and we've seen it work, hundreds of times, and that's to have kind of a case study on the left where it explains what you did for the client. So you have the client logo, you explain what you did, kind of why you're better than your competitors, but not obviously in a bragging way, but just to explain it in a way where you can show that you identified the problems, you solved their problems, customer was happy, and then obviously the social proof testimonials on the right hand side as well. Or even in the in the top bar or the header, it can go anywhere. So that's good. I like that. You've got the buttons here. I love this as well. That's really good. live chat facility would be even better for conversions if you can have someone to man that in the day. If not, you can get it to just say leave a message, because some people will click that as well. Now, obviously, the more kind of elements of conversion optimization that you do, the more conversions are going to happen. So each little element, the live chat might only add 5% more, and then the changing the little bit of the design there might add 2 or 3%, and then the other things that I'm going to talk about now. But once they're all together, they do really, really add up. So the next thing is lead magnets. So again, identifying problems that your clients are looking for to be solved, but then providing a lot of value up front before they even inquire. So offering a free kind of, like a lead magnet could be a pop-up box like this, but you should always be trying to collect the email addresses so that you can remarket to them in the future. This company, for instance, an accountancy company, they offer a free bookkeeping software, and it says join our mailing list and you can receive a free copy of Cashbook Pro. Now, there are a lot of creative ways to come up with lead magnets. There's loads of articles online. If you Google lead magnets, best examples, Lead Fusion is good for, Fusionsoft. They have a good blog for lead magnets. You can, read all about that. If you want to employ us to install a lead magnet, we do a lead magnet service where we can obviously come in, look at your business, have a look at your marketing plan, determine your goals. Obviously, the website goals are going to be totally separate from other marketing material. I don't know if you've done a proper marketing plan where you have it set out, and you have a specific section for the website marketing. A lot of people don't, but that's just something that we could look at. Another one is better thank you pages. So when someone does request a callback or fills in the form, to then direct to a thank you page where you have some blog posts maybe of just trying to give away as much free valuable information as you can. Even giving away information, for instance, I give away on my website, I give away a tip whereby they can actually go and do this themselves in terms of local SEO. So I give them a list of 30 citations that they can go and build themselves. It is quite a laborious task, but if they do that, then they will rank for their service #1 in their area. And 9 times out of 10, obviously they're busy and they don't want, even though I've given the information away for free and they can go and do that themselves, they don't do that because obviously the return on investment of, say, paying me to do it rather than that, because obviously we have tools to automate this, whereas if you were to go and do it by yourself, you'd have to do it manually, for instance, and it could take you, say, 8 to 10 hours over the course of a week. Now, you've got to obviously work that out in terms of monetary value. You'd probably be earning more doing what you do for those 8 to 10 hours than building these and paying me to build them. For instance, for those citations, it's £150. So if you imagine you earn £30 an hour, £40, say £50 an hour because it's an easy figure, and it's going to take you 8 hours, that's going to cost you £400. So you'd rather pay me £150 to do it, because ultimately, one, I'm going to do it better, I'm going to do it quicker, and obviously the onus is on me to provide that, and you can just get on with running your business. So that's the better thank you pages and the information and the lead magnets. Next thing, so mailing house, I'd say, obviously, I'm not sure whether lead forensics would work for you. No, actually, yes, no, it definitely would. Of course it would. So basically, you might have heard of these companies before. We're not affiliated with these companies in terms of we recommend them and then we get a commission. We don't. It's just we know they work. We've used kind of like 4 or 5 lead forensic tools. These are called lead forensics, but there's another one called Albacross. You can check that out. But basically, if someone visits your website, if you're getting quite a lot of traffic, every day you can get the information of the companies and the people who are visiting the site but leaving without making contact. So you can then have a member of your team, obviously call them up or send them an email to say, we noticed you visited our site. You know, did you find the information you were looking for? Is there anything I can do to help you? We're always striving to improve our website. So if you didn't find the information, you know, it'd be great to know, because then we can improve our website. And obviously you can see how powerful that could be. There are loads of creative ways that you can approach that. That's just a quick idea. So check them out, Lead Forensics. Obviously this does need to be, this is a third party thing, so you would pay them for the service. You can always trial these out for free, which is good. And then you just pay us to obviously install it into the back end of the website and make sure it's all up and running correctly. The next one is Hotjar, which is kind of analytics to obviously records what people are doing on your website, where they're visiting. So once you've had these changes done to the site, obviously we sometimes think we know best, and we'll think, right, the testimonials can go kind of, you know, here or here. But until you see the users actually using the site and what they're doing, the scribble graphs and whatnot, just from that data we can create the perfect website. Now I would only recommend having that once we think we've got the perfect website done. So that's just something that you can look at in the future. Next one is video. Video obviously on website it can convert up to 40%, 50% better. If you had a video testimonial, for instance, people are still scared of these, but they're really not difficult to get now. You could even get your clients to record them themselves now, just by offering them a bit of a discount on the next deal, or even offering them something free in return. Because even if it costs you £100 to get a video review, it is worth it in the long run. One video review in the top of the website, we've done A and B split testing on this, and the landing pages that have video convert 50% better than a static page like this. And this is based on 25 websites that we've done the study on. So definitely something to look at. I think I've covered everything. I'm not too sure. Oh, reviews on other platforms. So I don't know whether you do that. Facebook, LinkedIn, definitely LinkedIn for this type of business, and LinkedIn marketing. If you want some more information about that, we can help with that. Email marketing, again, collecting the email addresses. If you have the lead magnet, you can have a plugin in the back end called MailPoet. It's free, and when someone inquires, it'll collect their email address, and then over the course of 12 months you could have thousands of email addresses in the back end of your website that you can then send a newsletter to. Dead easy to use, it's free. You know, I don't know why anyone wouldn't want that on the website. It's not time consuming at all. And again, you know, if you're keeping in touch with people, a lot of people might inquire now and then forget about it, and then the next month, if you send out a newsletter to say, you know, look what we've done this month, we've helped this client XYZ, we've achieved this return on investment for this client, we've done this, look at this review. Latest industry news coming out, if there's a new legislation, and then you can obviously upsell other services on top of that to the company. And there's just so many ways you can integrate email marketing into the business. But you do need to start with collecting the email address on your website, as well as you may possibly have something in the back end. You may be using, I don't know, Aweber or MailChimp, or, you know, a third party email marketing software, but you've got so many more options. So if that's something of interest, I'd love to talk to you about that, because we are very good at that, and we're getting some brilliant results for that, with that for our clients. Blogging as well, obviously blogging is massively important. I don't see a blog on the website. You are on WordPress, so you've got no excuse really. I know it could be time consuming, but the return on investment, again, over the course of 12 months. Oh, sorry, you do have a blog. My bad. It's just not, obviously it's not prominent on the main menu. I would have latest news quite prominent, especially if you are blogging. Yeah, you are. So I take everything that I said back. So you are actually doing the work, but it could be utilised better on the homepage. So hopefully I've give quite a few tips there. I could have carried on talking for probably another 30 minutes, to be fair, but I've got to keep these videos quite short. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed it. Cheers, mate.